Welcome to Jersey's Best Podcast, a weekly deep dive into everything that makes New Jersey spectacular, bizarre, beautiful, sometimes annoying, but always the best. My name is Jeremy Schneider. I'm a food and culture reporter for NJ.com and the Star Ledger, and I'm also your host. A weekly reminder to send episode suggestions, guest ideas, and questions our way at jerseysbestpodcast@gmail.com, and follow us at Jersey's Best Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. We're posting memes, podcast clips, and a bunch of Jersey-centric stuff over there. Check it out. This week's episode of Jersey's Best Podcast is all about the greatest thing to ever be invented in New Jersey. No, not the light bulb, the submarine, or the boardwalk. I'm talking about the mall. That's right, shopping malls aren't just a major component of New Jersey culture, they were technically invented here. Well, the first shopping complex to be advertised as a mall was here in the Garden State, and we're going to take credit for that. You're welcome. New Jersey might as well be the mall state. We have more malls per square mile than any other state, so many that one section of New Jersey even earned the nickname Mallville USA. Shouts to Paramus. Just like bagel shops, diners, and pizzerias, our local mall is a major component of our New Jersey identity. Every New Jerseyan has a favorite mall, a least favorite mall, and plenty of us have had our first jobs at malls, and we all have core mall memories, for better or worse. I'm going to take that section over real quick. Just like bagel shops, diners, and pizzerias, our local mall is a major component of our New Jersey identity. Every New Jerseyan has a favorite mall and a least favorite mall. Plenty of us had our first jobs at malls, and we all have core mall memories, for better or worse. So get in, loser. We're going shopping. And by shopping, I mean analyzing our state's rich mall history, why we love malls so much here in New Jersey, and how mall culture is changing in 2025. Joining me today to discuss New Jersey's mall obsession is comedian, former mall employee, and returning Jersey's Best Podcast guest, Nick Fierro. Nick, welcome back to Jersey's Best Podcast.
I have got to start putting former mall employee as my credit for shows now. That's it. Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing great. Is that not on your resume already?
Yeah, I haven't touched a resume or a spreadsheet in 20 years, man. I'm free, baby. I'm off the grid. I don't know.
Nick, we brought you on this podcast because you're hilarious. We brought you here because you know New Jersey, but we especially brought you here because you don't just love malls. You used to work at one. Tell me about your history as a mall employee.
The late 90s at the Willowbrook Mall, I think I just annoyed the manager of a store until she gave me a job. It was great.
Which store was it?
If you remember, there in Willowbrook Mall, in the Sears wing, there was a hippie store downstairs called Native Art, and there was a hippie store upstairs that had an unpronounceable name. It was either called Artisania, Artasmus, like people just could not pronounce it, and I'm not even going to. I truly do not know what it was called, and I worked there from the late 90s throughout the early 2000s.
And what was the vibe like? I mean, was it like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where you like doing like favors for other mall employees, getting free Cinnabons and stuff like that?
There was a bagel cart, if you remember, at the bottom of the escalator in that wing. When I say bagel cart, I mean just a wooden as wide as this tall, and it just had bagels, no fixins, no spreads, no sandwich materials. I don't know for the life of me. That was someone's dream, to just have just dry breads in a thing, and I would go towards the end of the day when she was throwing them out, and she would just give me like a trash bag full.
Like how you go to Dunkin' Donuts at the end of the day, you get a trash bag full of donuts, but with bagels, Jersey bagels.
Yep, pretty much.
Jersey mall bagels?
Some of them weren't even in, like bagels that were round. They were just like bagel logs, like the laziest kinds. Just like a flopped on the ground. Everything bagel log.
Only in Jersey can you find bagels at the mall that I'm sure were honestly probably pretty good.
Oh, solid. Very solid.
So it's safe to say that you love malls.
Love malls. That was a lifestyle. That was a lifestyle choice that I made from a very young age until I realized that I had aged out, and I was like, well, it's time to start drinking at bars now. I mean, hey, they got bars at the mall. That's pathetic. If you
okay, shit. I mean, I have to reevaluate my life right now because I recently had a delicious mojito at Menlo Park Mall.
I'm not saying don't drink at a mall. I'm saying if the bar at the mall is your regular bar, you've messed up. Right, you've taken a wrong turn. Double back. It's fine. Plenty of time.
New Jersey loves malls for myriad reasons. And if we're going to talk about that, we got to start with the history of malls because we have a rich tapestry of mall history in the Garden State. The epicenter of New Jersey mall explosion was Paramus, fueled by the construction of the George Washington Bridge, as well as highways like Route 4 and 17. That became kind of the ground zero for Jersey malls. Eventually Paramus became Mallville USA because there were so many malls there. Garden State Plaza opened in 1957. Bergen Mall, now the outlets at Bergen Town Center, opened in 1958. Though I've seen it also as 1957. There's some discussion there. And Bergen Mall was the first complex to be promoted as a mall. Opened in an open air format and eventually was enclosed in 1973. But if we're going to talk about mall history, we also have to talk about Cherry Hill Mall, then called Cherry Hill Shopping Center, opened in 1961. It was the first enclosed climate-controlled mall east of the Mississippi. And anytime you can use that metric, I'm happy. Cherry Hill High School had their senior prom there, I believe, in 1961.
At the mall?
Yeah, meet me at the mall. It's going down
Awesome.
for prom. I mean, they had aviaries with tropical birds and plants. It wasn't just a shopping center. It was like a destination, and not just for New Jersey. There were like tour buses or buses coming from like Philly and DC just to come to Cherry Hill Mall. And the mall culture grew from there. The Garden State Plaza was eventually purchased by the Westfield Group in 1989 when they added 50 specialty retailers, including the first Nordstrom in New Jersey. And then in the mid-90s, even more were added, and Garden State Plaza became the absolute metropolis mall that we know it today. I was curious why we have so many malls here, but when you think about it, it makes sense. We have we're very densely populated. We have a lot of highways, so it's easy to get to the malls, and we're right by all these cities. I mean, you don't really think of New York City as having malls or Philadelphia as having malls. So of course they're going to build them, out in the country, in Jersey where there's more space.
Also, there is not, like, even though we're acclimated to living here, like as animals, we're comfortable. There's not a 3-week span throughout the year where it's acceptable to be outside steadily. We need an indoor space that is climate controlled, and that if lightning strikes, the roof will take the brunt of it. Because there's no, anything outdoor here has to exist for like 10 days at a time at best. Cross your fingers. How many Ferris wheels or zippers have you been on during a lightning storm where they've had to stop it at a county fair?
Too many. Speaking of Ferris wheels, we have malls with Ferris wheels in them in New Jersey. Why do we love malls so much, Nick? I mean, I think one of the big components of the situation is the nostalgia. Because there are so many malls in New Jersey, they became part of our childhood. I mean, we're going to talk about this, but I feel like the first place you have any sense of independence is going to the mall as a kid. When you're like in middle school and you don't have a car yet, but your parents were comfortable driving you to the mall with your friends and dropping you off, had a little walking around money to go to Hot Topic and Orange Julius and stuff. It's a town square, especially for kids growing up, right?
Yeah, and it's like if I'm in like 4th or 5th grade, I'm in New Jersey. I'm in the shadow of New York City. Or if you're in South Jersey, you're in the shadow of Philadelphia. You live in the suburbs. You can't get to that city when you're a kid, but you can go to the mall, which is this weird, like kind of like city within a suburb where it's got like some main drags. It's got stores. It's got like back before information was so readily available, it had music stores and movie stores, and you would go in and just thumb through VHSs and CDs and be like, what is this? Or like just the as a young person into weird stuff, the way you find out about weirder stuff is you need to find a cooler, older person to at least like watch from a distance. So you just see older kids in band t-shirts and be like, I'm going to figure out who that is, who that band is. And then you try to look it up, try to find it somewhere. And that's kind of your evolution of being a little weirdo running around.
I feel like you had to go to get cool. You had to go to the mall. Right? I mean, that's where you bought the stuff. That's where you got the commodities. I remember very vividly, and I felt a shift in who I was as a person, because in 6th grade I remember running around Garden State Plaza with my dad insisting that I get a shirt from Abercrombie and Fitch, which the next year as a 7th grader I would actively talk about how preppy and lame Abercrombie and Fitch was and how cool Hot Topic was. And I remember very, very meticulously perusing that big wall of t-shirts with dumb phrases on them. Like sometimes I stop to think and forget to start again. Or the shirt I did buy that caused quite a fracas in 7th grade when I wore it with my band, the Snow Peas. That's a whole other story. I had a shirt that said no preppies on it, which was very offensive to the preppies. And I mean, who the hell was I, a kid in Montclair, saying no preppies?
It's like they were trying to divide us, man. They were trying to sell us independence, but they were really just pitting us against each other.
The preps versus the punks, baby.
Just stirring controversy among a bunch of people who'd never thrown a punch.
But, oh yeah, I have.
What are you gonna do?
But and I think this taps on another thing. The mall had something for everyone, because like it wasn't just less so to this day because mall culture isn't what it used to be. But growing up in the 90s, in the early 2000s, and before that, even no one's not going to want to go to the mall. There's something for everyone. There's a store that hits your certain set of interests, and anyone could have a good time at the mall.
Yeah, and especially as like a young weird person, like glomming onto like the store that had I would try to find the weirdest crap. Like that's why like listen, I'm glad that there's still some outlets for people to find strange stuff, but I get so mad at a Spencer's Gifts specifically because they just became like if you just rolled around on the floor of weird and gathered a bunch of it. It has no prime directive. It's just borrowing from everything. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No. I know exactly what you're saying. When I think quintessential mall stores, I think Spencer's Gifts. It's just like a bunch of random doodads and doohickeys and like tchotchkes and weird shit that if you bought it would probably piss off your parents, so of course you were gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's a store full of like gag gifts and fart spray and like a Yellowstone sex toy for some reason they have like at the checkout counter, and then like kind of dog vests. Awesome sounds great. Honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud, go crazy.
Sign me up. No, but then you said it yourself at the store you worked at. Your type of store, the store you worked at, which the unpronounceable name?
We're going to call Artisania.
Artisania?
When I started, it was like kind of a hippie store, kind of a new agey store. But then everyone they hired kind of lent their own element to it. Like this was the late 90s, so we had one guy who just wore like the microfiber all over print Dragon Ball Z shirts and went to raves on the weekend. So we started selling mouth glow sticks by the thousand. I sold more mouth glow sticks than I can tell you. But then we had one guy who was more into like Wicca and New Age stuff. So we had all the books and the tarot cards and crystals because he was doing that stuff. And then I was there and I was like, I'm in high school. Could you I tried to get them to order like some like band shirts once and I got in trouble. My thing was we would play a game called Head with Legs, where I would take the UFO pants, the biggest size we could find, and I'd pull them up to my neck and have someone pull the drawstring, and then we'd be a head with legs. And you could do it two ways. You could pursue or you could obstruct. Either you chase people as a head with legs, or you would just stand perfectly still when they walked in. We got in so much trouble for head with legs. So much.
I wonder why. But he and this kind of store could not exist outside of the mall, because the mall ecosystem, the fact that you had Nordstrom, you had Sears, you had these big department stores. They were so big that they would support Artisania or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, the mall was for businesses that weren't ready for the real world. There are stores that couldn't exist outside of it, so they all combined their efforts, not unlike the atolls in Waterworld. The last bastions of safety for a bunch of miscreants who couldn't make it on the high seas.
I think a quintessential mall store that I miss very much, and it's fitting that when I think malls, I think you think like futuristic kind of, even though it is nostalgic. Sharper Image, man. Sharper Image was like that. Like that was the mall store. I think Spencer's Gifts was the mall store when you wanted to feel like a kid. And Sharper Image is like, there's no way in hell I'm going to spend $150 on this like electric like bulb thing that like puts the electricity on your finger, or the massagers, or the CD player that like has like freaking lava lamp installed or whatever. But like you'd go to Sharper Image at the mall, and you'd be like, man, this is the future. Like this is when I'm an adult, I'm gonna my whole entire house is gonna be filled with Sharper Image stuff.
I wonder if Elon Musk was like a normal kid and then he went to a Sharper Image once. It was just like, oh, yes, this is, yes.
That was his origin story? His how he got Joker-fied?
Sits in one massage chair and just like, because no one ever rubbed his neck.
You could buy a very nice neck massager at the Sharper Image. But it wasn't just the stores. I feel like mall food is such a quintessential part of the mall experience. Because there's things, it's not just, first of all, you're going to these places for the first time as a kid, and you have $10 to spend on whether it's Taco Bell. Do you think of Taco Bell as like a mall food?
Only in one instance. There was briefly in the Newport Center Mall a Taco Bell next to a Burger King, and it was during the era where they had Taco Bell had the naked chicken chalupa, which is a taco shell made of fried chicken, and Burger King had the chicken fries. So you would buy one of each, empty the contents of the chicken chalupa, put the chicken fries in there, thus making a taco comprised entirely of fried chicken. You wouldn't eat it. You wouldn't eat it. You would just put it on your dashboard, and it would just shrink over the course of the summer.
Of course you would. I would have eaten it. You're gonna shrink it like a shrunken head. I remember. It's actually funny though because I feel like one key mall food is Sbarro's. Like that's it. You'll see a Sbarro's at every mall, even in New Jersey. And there's no way in hell that I'm eating at Sbarro's because we have good pizza in New Jersey. But that's quintessential. You have I feel like mall Chinese food is a very specific type of Chinese food. It wasn't what you're getting takeout with the family. I kind of hate that. I feel like Panda Express has moved into that space, and I love Panda Express. It's delicious, but it's not the same. I want to get Chinese food at the mall with like it's some place I've never heard of, and it looks all very. I mean, it's all like protein in a weird sauce and lo mein or rice or something, and it's terrible for me. But I don't care because when you're at the mall, calories don't count.
Mall sushi.
Oh, mall sushi.
Only if it's in a standalone kiosk within the food court. And they have way too much of it for the one guy that works there to have made that day.
Yeah, so how'd you do that?
Floor to ceiling stacked, and he's just one guy not even doing much. They have one rice cooker. Like, you didn't make this today.
I remember being like 13 at Garden State Plaza with my mom and seeing the mall sushi and being like, wow. And she's like, absolutely not. We're not doing that.
Let's go to that kiosk with no bathroom in it to have that man handle raw fish.
That man is definitely equipped to make us sushi. I also love, I feel like the scent of Auntie Anne's just or Wetzel's pretzels. I don't know if are they the same thing? Are they rivals?
It'd be the greatest trick they ever pulled if they were just the same company and they were just decided that it was like Garth Brooks and Chris Gaines kind of thing. Wetzel's is Chris Gaines.
I love Wetzel's pretzels. I love Auntie Anne's. I don't take sides in that fight. And I also think that the mall is a rare place where getting a Cinnabon was acceptable. And
where else? You imagine someone gets a Cinnabon for lunch at an outdoor, like a regular Cinnabon that's just outdoors and brings it back to you psychopath.
No, people would judge you, but at the mall, it's okay.
Completely acceptable.
In some ways, I mean, I guess it was funny. The only other spot that I think it might be acceptable, even though this is crazy, is an airport. Just
Cinnabon at an airport.
I've seen it.
You're gonna be in the air for 10 hours. You're gonna get that level of sticky. And then just get on a plane and touch buttons on the armrests.
Yeah, yes, please, boom, boom, boom. You're buckling up, getting icing all over the seat next to a nice old lady, and she's mad at you.
That being said, I'd do it. My favorite was hands behind the back, try to eat it no-handed, but then there was only one napkin to clean up.
Nick, the games you made up at the mall or otherwise.
This was in front of no one. This wasn't like a friend bet me. I was alone for hours at a time. And I was like, let's see if we can do this.
Orange Julius, another place that I feel you only had at the mall.
Not only had it at the mall, I only knew about it from the Sylvester Stallone sketch on SNL. I'd never even seen an Orange Julius until like the late 90s, and it was at a mall. Still not completely sure what it is, and I really only know that mostly from the Pete and Pete episode of the Orange Lazarus, which once that episode came out, I was like, well, the Orange Julius is clearly not as good as this imaginary orange drink, so I don't want it.
Danny Tamborelli from New Jersey. Come on, Jersey's Best Podcast. You used to go to Lucky's, right?
Oh yeah.
That's fantastic. It always comes back to Lucky's. I will actually give credit to Orange Julius for instilling a love of creamsicle in me. I mean, to this day, if I can't go past a Coors Brothers on the boardwalk and not get it, and I think that's before I had Coors Brothers, I had Orange Julius, and so I mean the combination of vanilla and orange is a plus to me. Now malls have fancier food. I mean, so like I recently, I mean, we haven't talked about American Dream yet. It's gonna come up eventually. That's part of a bigger conversation, but I don't really want to go to a nice restaurant at the mall. I mean, the nicest restaurant I want to go to is like Rainforest Cafe or Johnny Rockets. Or I mean, is there any more? I mean, I know Rainforest Cafe just closed.
I think there is one left. I think there might be one.
The only one remaining in New Jersey is in Atlantic City, which is which is fitting. Not in a mall, though. I mean, I guess
Atlantic City. Listen, boardwalks in their own way are a type of mall.
Yes,
I will say that.
I agree. The Menlo Park Mall Rainforest Cafe closed on February 19, 2025. A sad day in New Jersey history. I remember going to Rainforest Cafe as a kid in Chicago, and like I was probably like 12, and it was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. This is better than the Amazon. I'm having so much fun. Look at that monkey. Look at that toucan. Look at this these chicken fingers that are, I guess it's kind of weird to be eating in the rainforest.
And then like out of nowhere, steam would come out of the wall.
Yes,
it would touch your
yes.
face. Steam. It would touch like you're eating, and it wasn't like steam made of liquid. It was like steam made of like it. It was odd. It had a consistency unlike solid liquids or gas.
But I'll tell you one thing: going to a Rainforest Cafe during its heyday was a blast. Going to Rainforest Cafe, like when it was empty, like I mean they must have been empty if they're closing like this. And I went to the one in Menlo Park Mall a few years back. I think it was my buddy's birthday, a former coworker, his birthday, and he wanted to go for his birthday. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Being there when it's just like when there's more animatronic animals than humans, terrible. Like you feel like you're in like a Five Nights at Freddy's, like some sort of like horror movie where the animals are gonna come alive and eat you.
Really, you don't feel like the king of the rainforest? You don't feel like you own...
I didn't. I felt like, damn, I don't belong here. I did not feel like Jane Goodall. I felt like it was like Jurassic Park Animal Edition. But no, I mean, I love that. I went to Carpaccio, an Italian restaurant in, it's a chain of like fancier Italian restaurants. I went to the one in American Dream, and I guess it was partially because I don't want to get Italian food at the mall, especially in New Jersey. But man, it just felt weird. It felt like something felt off. It felt like I didn't belong there. Like, no, I want to be eating something like there needs to be a bit, or it needs to be really greasy. There needs to be a novelty. Like a Chuck E. Cheese situation. I don't want fancy food at the mall, and I don't really want a fancy mall.
I am blessed to have been alive during the period in time where there was a Friendly's in the Willowbrook.
Oh, dude. Friendly's.
At the bottom of the escalator. Now. Carpaccio? I don't know. Carpaccio. Oh, the little puppet boy made out of meat. Free him from this salami, and he's gonna become a real boy. He's a smoker cigar to need the donkey.
This would not be the first time I got an email from Carpaccio Corporate. They didn't like my review.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's quite all right. That's, oh my gosh.
Carpaccio Corporate. Yeah. They're getting Cinnabons for lunch. I'll tell you that much.
And I mean, I think the reason we can have this conversation is because there were so many malls in New Jersey. We all had opinions, like big. I mean, like you judge someone based on what their favorite mall was. Like I'm telling you, I grew up right by Willowbrook Mall. You worked at Willowbrook Mall. Willowbrook was not like that was my I'm down and dirty. I need to get something. I'm gonna be in and out. I didn't want to hang out there, even though it was closed.
Oh, so your motive for visiting was purchase.
Well, for Willowbrook, yes. Okay. I didn't want to hang out at Willowbrook. I wanted to hang out at Garden State Plaza. Garden State Plaza was my go-to. Okay. Like, it was bigger. I mean, it's not the biggest mall in New Jersey anymore, but it was at one point. And they had a really cool Hot Topic. They had the van store with the half pipe that I absolutely could not skate on. They wouldn't even let me on that.
Was there a line? I never understood how that even worked.
It was like mythical to me.
Also, I can barely skate. It's better off. I would have snapped an ankle in a minute.
No, I remember buying Rally XLTs at the van store at Garden State Plaza, and my mom was like, those better fit because you're not returning them, and they were a little tight, and I was scared.
I accidentally stole a grind plate from Champs Sporting Goods, and then I panicked and brought it back. What? Grind plate for rollerblades. Okay, Sorry, guys.
I thought
we used to grind.
Grinded. But like someone say, oh, we're going to Willowbrook. Like, nah, I'm good. Oh, we're going to Garden State Plaza. Hell yeah, sign me up. I mean, Short Hills was like the fancy mall. Freehold Raceway Mall down in the southern part of the state or the shore region, thriving. They have a Dave & Buster's now. But I mean, like this is just like everything else in New Jersey. We had opinions, we had thoughts, we had judgment. Because we have so many malls, we could have these discussions.
But I'm not gonna preach Willowbrook as the supreme late night. I can only speak for my time frame, my class of Willowbrook Mall. Mm-hmm. You could not get a better group of just mall rat scumbag, roving hordes of 15-year-old chain smokers in Slipknot jumpsuits. Benny's Joyride ska band of the time playing at a jeans store next to Hot Topic and at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Just absolute lunatic. Anybody that went to Skaters World or the Wayne Firehouse or any of those shows, that was Willowbrook primarily was their mall. And then you go over to Garden State, and like the freaks at Garden State, the mall rats at Garden State were much more like polished and put together. Like you'd see kids with like their hair actually like charged up, and they were wearing like full-on studded stuff, like they were more like done up because they were Bergen County kids and they had money. And I'll say it now, posers. Back in the day, posers. Our crew could have chewed you up and spit you out. That's fine.
No, that's more than fine. That's perfect. That's what we bring you in for.
Willowbrook crew strong, because Willowbrook, it was like it literally was just that was if you were 15, you couldn't go to a bar and hang out, but you needed social something, so you went there. And then Willowbrook, once the mall closed, you had Fun and Games, which was open till 1 o'clock in the morning, which is an insane mistake for any establishment to make. 1 a.m. Also, you could smoke inside. I didn't even smoke, but you could just chain smoke as a 15-year-old inside an arcade.
One of those.
That was open till 1 o'clock in the morning. So you had 20-year-olds that were too young to go to the bars, and you had 21-year-olds that got kicked out of bars, all at an arcade with like high school kids at the same time who are all on drugs. And there's no one else around. There's just 2 guys in referee jerseys who worked there, and there was a bathroom. My God, the felonies that must have been committed in the Fun and Games bathroom at 12:45 on a Monday night. So yeah, Plaza. I don't think you had it.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I mean, look, I'm a poser. I'll admit it. I'm not tough. I wasn't tough as a kid. I'm definitely not tough now. And Garden State Plaza definitely felt a little more put together.
I wasn't talking about you.
No. I'm gonna own my status as a Benny. I'm gonna own myself as a poser. Like I'm a podcast host. I got to keep it 100. Got to keep it. Meet me at the mall. It's going down. And if it goes down, I'm running back to my parents' Toyota Sienna because I'm scared. I once had a friend tell me that you shouldn't go to Hot Topic at night because that's when like scary people came out. And I think he was just fucking with me. I was just like, what are you like?
Hot Topic at night? It's closed at night.
Yeah, I mean,
the mall closed at 9:30. What time? The sun doesn't go down in the summer till 8:45. What are we talking about here? Also, it's inside. It's always dark in there.
Yeah. No, but Hot Topic has gotten brighter.
Yeah, I know.
It is not as punk or hardcore or whatever the phrasing you want to use.
Oh, yeah, it really lost its edge.
Yeah,
back when it had its finger on the pulse.
Hot Topic used to mean something. Hot Topic does get a bunch of cool like record variants now, I feel like.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, there was a time where it was like there were only a few places you could have a job if you looked weird, and Hot Topic was one of them. Starbucks was the other one. Like you could work if I saw one of my friends wearing a black polo shirt, I was like, you got a job, didn't you? And they're like, yeah. It's like Starbucks. They're like, yeah, because you could have like weird hair and piercings at Starbucks or at Hot Topic. So if you looked strange, those are now you can look weird anywhere. You know, it's fine. But back in the day, if you had like a vampire bite neck tattoo, you were going to do one thing and one thing only, and it was going to be sell Fear Factory patches to 13-year-olds.
Oh my God, Nick, this is why I bring you in. But yeah, you would. It's just like everything else in New Jersey. You would judge someone for what. I mean, like you're judging people that went to Garden State Plaza. I'm not feeling judged. I'm just we had these. I
love that mall, by the way. Yeah. It was a far better mall.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, like Willowbrook was always more convenient for me, but it was just I knew Garden State Plaza was better. Meanwhile,
how many fountains did it have?
So many.
Did it really?
You could go swimming at Garden State Plaza.
Yeah,
at least 2. I think.
Oh man.
It also had a movie theater, which I mean, another factor here. Another reason we love these malls so much is you talk about bands playing shows. There is a whole like ecosystem of concerts at malls. I mean, Britney Spears did a giant mall tour. I'm pretty sure the Backstreet Boys did too. And it just once again exacerbated or magnified how what a place for youth culture these were. Right. Yeah. I mean, you said you have nowhere to go when you're 14 or 15. You just go to the mall by default. I mean, Kevin Smith made mall rats for a reason because there were mall rats. There were people that just go and hang out, and I mean that's a beautiful thing, or was a beautiful thing, because mall culture has changed a lot in 2025. It's a combination of factors, but I mean one of the biggest ones being online shopping. I mean, you used to have to go to the mall to buy clothes, like and the act of browsing and seeing what they had and what they didn't have. Now everyone just shops online, and I mean, you can still go to the mall, but the numbers are exponentially down. Burlington Town Center Mall is closed. Phillipsburg Mall is either closed or on the way to closing. Livingston Mall is dilapidated. You have a bunch of these malls in kind of like a zombie like state. They're kind of in purgatory, like mall purgatory. I mean, we were talking. I mean, the Hudson County Mall we were talking about before.
Oh man, yeah. That's a real Five Nights at Freddy's that you were saying before. That mall, I don't even know what's open in it anymore. The movie theater's still open, if you're lucky. Because I've definitely shown up there to buy tickets for a movie, and the ticket taker's been like, "Oh, we're not showing that tonight. There was a disaster," and no explanation. Just they said that. And I'm not saying they held up a bloody stump after they said it, but it gave the vibes of that.
Terrifying. If someone told me there was a disaster at Hudson County Mall, I would believe it and I would run.
Of course, there's
that
a
place
disaster.
is haunted.
Yeah.
I mean,
I came here for the disaster. I'm on 440 in the afternoon on a Monday. I'm not expecting safety.
I saw Avengers Infinity War there with friends, and
you would have to go. Yeah, don't go alone.
Yeah, because now the place is creepy. And I mean, you go to a lot of malls in 2025. I mean, aside from, look, Garden State Plaza is still, doing very well, I'd say. American Dream, which, has, kind of, against all odds, risen from the Xanadu ashes to become a very nice mall, but a mall that is also, partially, it's not just shops, it's also an amusement park.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. No, and I think that, unfortunately, that's what it takes to keep them all open in 2025. Like Newport Mall is, it's still a mall, but it's much less prosperous than it used to be. Ocean County Mall is like a crypt. Going to Quaker Bridge Mall is really, really sad. It's depressing to me to see a key component of our culture kind of going by the wayside.
Yeah, part of it, you're talking about like online shopping and stuff before. I would buy things in person a lot more if I wasn't talked to the second I walked in a store. I'm from a generation where if I was working in a store, maybe a head nod, that's it. I tried to walk into Zoomies, or as I call it, the cool guy store at the mall, and I can't. I just want to be. I'm embarrassed to be there because I'm old, but I just want to shop for like T-shirts or something, and there's always like just a high school kid be like, "How you doing, man? What's up? Can I help you with anything?" I'm like, I don't think we should be talking at all. Can I just keep my head down and just look? I want it to be quiet enough where you can hear my knees crack when I bend over to look at these shoes. Can I just do that? I don't know. I literally just went to buy a pair of slip-on Vans, a shoe I've purchased a dozen times in my life, and I got nice bag. When's the last pair of shoes you bought? How long did you? I'm like, listen, you seem nice. You seem nice, but I got demons and I just need shoes. I don't, you seem okay. Stay here and just, I'm going to buy these online now. I'm going to have.
I do feel bad when and I still make a point of going to the mall. Not every time, but I enjoy it. I went to American Dream Mall to buy these lovely jorts I'm wearing and have made my entire personality this summer.
That's where those are from.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you want these,
got the Stone Colds, baby.
Levi. 316 jorts. Drank a beer. Put on some jorts. I will. I'll go to the mall just to feel something. Just
to feel alive.
Just a little nostalgia. Just like the good. Like I'm 35 now. Like I can afford things at the mall that I couldn't afford when I was 15. I don't want to buy them anymore. I don't want to buy the stupid T-shirts from Hot Topic.
Just to feel, I'm gonna order a party clown, even though there's no party. Just show up and make a fucking poodle for me. But then,
they meant like one of those like waving inflatable dolls.
No, but you can buy those for like way cheaper than you think. Way cheaper, way cheaper than you think.
Of course, you know this. But when you talk to the employees, it does. It feels like they're in purgatory too. Right?
They blink weird. They blink different than
I feel bad. No, and like they're doing their job.
They are. And that's the problem, I think.
It's not a fun job.
Is that no one did their job back in the day and it worked out fine.
But that's even going to like a nice mall can have. Going to the van store at American Dream. It's like you feel kind of or maybe, or
They
we
have a
just
half pipe at that one?
they don't. God,
Come on. You got a ski slope and no half pipe.
Is that just who we are in 2025 though? Like
No
like,
half pipe?
No, no half pipe. In 2025, are we just not conditioned to have random conversations with employees at stores? I mean, because it used to be such a, I mean, you would go do back to school shopping with your parents every August, and you like knew how to talk to people.
Or you would hide in the coats until your mom cried.
You definitely did that. That's not a joke.
Oh, that's great.
But I mean,
having the weird conversation, I'll try every now and again to have a weird one. I forget what I was wearing. I had a shirt on that said had like a GIMP mask on it, but it was like the X-Files logo almost, and it said "I want to behave" on it. And I went to buy an Adidas track jacket because that's where I'm at. And the guy at the store was like, "Cool shirt." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." He goes, "I also want to behave." I'm like, "I'm gonna get out of here." I'm gonna take my Adidas track jacket and go roll dice with a seagull under a bridge.
Nick, I think you bring out the weird in people. I just think it's one of your hidden talents. Not even that hidden.
Hidden talent. I can also spin a plate.
I miss it. I miss going to the mall. It brings me a sense of nostalgia, and it really sucks going to a mall that's, it's like late stage capitalism. You see these stores that are like hanging on by a thread. Some of these malls have more closed stores than open stores.
Yeah, but you see it as late stage. I see it as logical conclusion capitalism. And you don't get on a water slide if you're not ready to hit that little like at the bottom. That's just what's gonna happen, guys. We've made it. We stood online. The system is crumbling, but the system itself, we're riding it all the way down. And sometimes people go to the bathroom in it, and it's okay. And we're gonna rinse off. It's chlorine. Like life's about balance. Malls are about balance. For everyone that dies, two spring up. Right? I remember the American Way Mall actually got taken down in segments until it was just a standalone Bennigan's. Imagine that. If the head of the beast was the only thing that remained. They killed the body and the head didn't die. And it was just a Bennigan's with a dead mall behind it. Imagine any other life form where it's just skeleton and then flesh just above the neck.
You're saving the best for last.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. The Bennigan's is the best for last.
Oh, I thought you meant we were going to touch it. The big finish was going to be the American Way. At
No.
46.
But no, I mean, it's just like anything else in Jersey. We're nostalgic for the good old days. We're nostalgic for things that we don't have anymore. But
I like the new ones. I like the American Way.
American Dream
Mall because
that's fitting though. And is it the American Dream in 2025?
Yes, because it's sinking into a swamp. It's too heavy and it's on loose earth. And also watching it go up, watching it for how many years?
Like 5 or 10,
Wait,
15.
15 maybe.
It was like being built in high school, and then it got finished.
When it was multicolored Lego brick looking, and when it was just the escalator to nowhere, like in The Simpsons, and then you got to watch Giant Stadium get torn down and build up again while it still wasn't finished. And then when it finally did, they had the audacity to put American Dream on the front of it. Like, that's crazy. And then my favorite thing is it's still in the shadow, like the Meadowlands flea market is still existing in its parking lot. So you can go just where commerce is just this self-cleaning fish tank where it's like the weak are chewed up and spit out and only the strong survive. You can get guacamole and it's nice. And then you just look at this giant glowing white monolith of it's cool. I'm all in favor of it. I like how terrified people look there when they're there for the first time. The American Dream.
Oh yeah, it's very daunting. We've talked about that.
I saw a family in tears. Coming down an escalator. Do you know how to do it? I'm like, this is my first time. I'm not even inside yet, and you're making me very excited.
I was very proud when I went there for the jorts. I parked in the exact right spot. Boom, got in and out. Because American Dream, will ruin your day. You'll get lost.
I got so lost trying to find the arcade. There were like entire hallways that were like cut off for no reason. They put like cardboard like walls up or something.
Probably a tax write-off.
Yeah, I don't know. And I couldn't get around, and I had to like circumnavigate. But there was like touchscreen maps and stuff.
I hate that, yo.
It's really messed up.
This is for all malls. Bring back the old school map, because now you like scan a QR code like you're at a restaurant scanning a freaking menu, and it tells it never loads on time, and it takes forever, and it's like just show me on a map. I want to find A24. That's the champs. I'm gonna go buy some Jordans or something. I don't know. I like the more things get like better, the more they get worse as far as technology goes at the mall. I
had a dream once where I was lost in the American Dream Mall, and I was trying to find my way somewhere, and people kept saying, find the balloon guy, find the balloon guy. And I eventually found a guy with a balloon tied to him, and I was like, are you the balloon guy? And he didn't really answer. But then I asked him where I was going, like where to go, and he gave me directions. It's not the worst idea to have a balloon guy. Just to tie a balloon to some rando dude and have him walk around the mall, and if you have any questions, you ask him. It's like a museum curator. But he's got a balloon on him for no reason.
Why not?
Or maybe, I don't know.
Maybe the solution, because we used to have dozens and dozens of malls in New Jersey. We still have. I should have known this before.
How many we have?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
What's your over under?
I'm guessing 25.
Oh, okay. Price is Right rules. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna count them. List of indoor malls: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I'll do some
9,
shadow puppets
10,
in the meantime.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26.
Man, Price is Right.
Yep.
You win.
Yeah,
I went over.
and we are cutting that from the podcast.
That is,
but many have closed. And I mean, maybe the solution isn't. I mean, no malls. It's just a few big malls. I mean, maybe you're gonna have, you know, the Willowbrooks kind of wither, and you're gonna and the Hudson County malls wither, and you're gonna have the American Dream. You're gonna have Freehold Raceway Mall, which just got a Dave & Buster's and is thriving, for what I'm told. You're gonna have Garden State Plaza still thriving.
When's the last time you were at a crowded Dave & Buster's, by the way?
Not
crowded one.
I was at the Dave & Buster's at Willowbrook, so I guess maybe that isn't the best. I had a good time though. It was the night before my friends got married.
It's great.
But it wasn't
Dave
slams.
Buster's
It wasn't
Buster's
slams.
is great, but it's never like the commercial.
No, and of course, well,
no smiles, no camaraderie. No.
I won a Thor doll, so I was actually smiling a lot, and my goddaughter was pretty pissed that I didn't give her my tickets. So, I'm a bad godfather.
You can give her the Thor doll.
She didn't want. If she wanted the Thor doll, she could have the Thor doll. She wanted like the Slurpee machine with like 20,000 tickets. We didn't have 20,000 tickets. I wasn't that good at skee ball.
How many did you spend on Thor?
Like 500 or something.
All right.
I'll redeem myself. No, but I mean, I don't think that mall culture is ever going to be what it was. I just think it's a sign of the times. Shit, I guess I need to talk to some kids.
Well, that was top tier convenience.
Yeah.
The idea of having a bunch of stuff in one place was convenient,
Yeah.
and now the idea of a place is inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
Which
like,
we
I have to get out of my house.
Yeah, I'm trying not to sound old.
No,
with
you're
this,
right though.
But it is really fun to just compulsively buy crap on the internet and then wait like a dog for the mailman.
But
every day, that's
I agree.
awesome. That's awesome.
That's delayed gratification, and I do love. I remember during COVID, especially like we had nothing to look forward to. So I'd be looking forward to the T-shirt that I bought for charity, which was just an excuse to spend money.
Yeah.
But there is it's such a good feeling, and I wonder if this is a feeling that no longer exists. At least I don't think it exists like the way it used to, of going to the mall with your friends, and then by the end of the day, just having 2 handfuls of stuff you absolutely didn't need, but you definitely wanted that pair of Janko jeans and the stupid T-shirt and something and a tchotchke from Spencer's Gifts that you're probably never going to use. And I mean that doesn't happen anymore. At least not as prevalently, not as predominantly. And I wonder.
Right. But I'll say that you're coming at this from a completely different angle than I would. Where my goal was never to leave with stuff. Mine was if I don't. That's the only place I can go to be unsupervised and among a million other people who might be into the same crap that I am. So like if I didn't go and hang out that night, I might miss something. I might miss the night that my friend Paul broke the record on Dance Dance Revolution wearing a jester hat. I might miss the time that my other buddy, who was like a Soul Caliber champion, got into a fist fight with one of the security guards. Or like every now and again, like once a year, one of my friends would get banned for doing something stupid, and then they have to wait until their hair grew out so they could go back. Like you know how hard.
So it wasn't just the shopping; it was the experience at the mall.
Yeah, I made people. I knew friends that made completely different aesthetic pivots just to re-enter the mall after being banned. Like that was the reason you dyed your hair or started dressing different was because the mall guard that looked like the Iron Sheik kicked you out, and he said you couldn't come back for a whole year. A year? You're going back, Maureen. You're going back.
Nick Fierro, talking to you about anything is fun, but talking about the mall is an absolute joy. But before I let you go, you need to complete the Garden State Gauntlet rapid fire series of questions, mall edition.
So bad at this.
No, you're not. There's no way to be bad at this. It's not a skill game. It's just questions.
Are you gonna ask me my favorite anything?
Maybe.
I blank when people ask me my favorite anything.
That's the point. Actually, we're trying to put you on the spot. Favorite mall.
Willowbrook just for nostalgia.
Least favorite mall.
Least favorite mall. Oh man, I'm gonna say Bergen Mall.
Why?
It was always where you wound up. It was like Napoleon on that island where you're like you couldn't go anywhere. You got trapped. The bus was only going that way. You couldn't get it to the plaza. It also there was like an underground hallway that sounds fun, but all the stores in it were like abandoned, so it got old quick.
Favorite mall store?
Favorite mall store would be a Borders Books and Music by far.
Dude, R.I.P.
Borders Books and Music, listening stations, and hours. A book on spontaneous combustion next to like a Lefty Frizzell CD. Perfect.
I can still smell Borders.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
I think is it like paper from the books? Or?
It smelled like fresh carpet and old carpet at the same time. What I imagine the inside of these headphones must smell like. We're gonna do a test after.
We could find out. Favorite mall food?
Favorite mall food is definitely. Oh no. Favorite mall food. I said mall sushi already, and I did like the bagel carts. Oh no.
Well, I'm gonna let you think on this because I have a story about mall food. I'll pull this. So we live the Jersey's Best Podcast office and J Advanced Media office. Like we're the only thing here. We're right by Menlo Park Mall. And while we were working in the newsroom, we'd go to the food court at Menlo Park for lunch, and I would do this thing that I convinced myself that I was being healthy. I would do a lap around the food court and eat every sample. Because we haven't even talked about mall samples yet. That's one of my favorite parts of the mall.
You count your toothpicks at the end.
Yeah. Oh, I'd have like 12. You'd have like a little piece of the Charlie's cheesesteak. You'd have some of the bourbon chicken. You'd have some of the Cinnabon if they were really nice. And then I'd go and eat at Chipotle and get like a burrito bowl and pretend that was healthy. So do this Schneider lap at a food court if you can, and tell them I sent you. They'll be really mad. Favorite food at the mall?
A very specific time and place, but it was going to be when Burger King was doing their twice fried fries at the Burger King in Willowbrook because they had a 2-story Burger King.
Whoa.
And you could buy your food downstairs, and then you go upstairs, which shouldn't have existed for any reason, and there was a window looking out over the mall. So just in that environment, with the 6-month period, they did those twice fried fries.
What's your favorite thing you ever bought at a mall?
Probably the gopher, which was a collapsible claw that you could use to pick things up. And I was kicked out of the mall for it because they said it looked like a gun, but this was like pre-99, so it was more like, get that gun out of here, you. And I was like, it's a gopher. They're like, we don't know what that is.
What is your favorite mall memory ever?
By far, a kiosk that sold these ripcord helicopters in the corridor. And the guys who ran it, I used to think they were jerks because I would go up to them and ask for a job there all the time. And they'd always say no. But looking back, completely justified in not hiring me. I think there was one guy that owned it. Why would he hire me? I was clearly being sarcastic. So I didn't like the guy, and he would always demonstrate the helicopters would go up and then come back, and he would catch them, and they would soar all the way to the ceiling, come back, and he would catch them. And one time, one hit a baby in the face.
I was going to ask you the weirdest thing you've ever seen at a mall, but I think you just answered it.
No. There were mall regulars a lot, and I would see them later on in my life, in my 20s, my mid-20s. One was a goth couple, like traditional goth couple, like a lot of lace and wide-brimmed hat, and like not a lot of like spikes, but more like the ruffled shirt goth couple. And then years later at a squat show on Lower East Side, I saw the dude, and he did not look okay. He had like crow makeup tattooed on his face. It was weird. And I took a bus ride to the Port Authority with this old guy that would sit at the fountains. He would wear a leather jacket and a fedora and sunglasses. And he told me that he could kill people with his mind. And he showed me a picture of his wife in his wallet that was clearly a picture that was 40 years old, and she was not his wife. It was from a magazine. Those guys.
Nick Fierro, the life you live. You could just do a podcast, weird shit Nick Fierro has seen. And maybe that'll be an episode down the road. But Nick, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Nick Fierro. You're a legend.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Where can people find your stuff? You got anything to plug? Where should they be following you, et cetera, et cetera?
NickFierro.com, Shtick Fierro on all platforms. I don't know when this is coming out, but...
this will be coming out in, I believe... Hold up. We're going to cut this and make sure we get the I want you to know this.
So I ain't got a ton going on.
All right. Well, let's see. James, we're going to cut this and make this sound nice and pretty. This will be coming out on the 30th, I believe. Wait, no. Yes, because today was the diner episode. Next week will be the Jersey Olympics, and then the 30th will be this. So July 30th.
Okay, great. August 7th, it's a Thursday at Wet Eagle Hall. Chris Gethard is doing his that show live in New Jersey for the first time, and me and a bunch of other really great Jersey comics, Alex Grubart, Alex Nicholas, are going to be on it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a big party. Show up to that.
I will be there. Come
Jeremy.
say what up. If you tell me that you're a listener to the podcast, I'll give you a sticker. Or if you tell me you love the podcast, I'll buy you a drink. Just kidding. They're not that cheap, but I will give you a sticker. And look, Chris Gethard. That show is going to be awesome. Check it out. Anytime you can see Nick doing comedy, it is a joy. If you like this podcast, you'll love his comedy. Nick, this is so much fun. Really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me.
A pleasure. I'm sure you'll be back again. Thank you to our audio producer, James Shapiro, our video producer, Dwayne Yuzaro, and our executive producer, Bobby Olivier. Thank you to Schmutzadells for our theme song. If you have questions, episode suggestions, guest ideas, anything like that, email us at jerseysbestpodcast@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. Super important for new podcasts. And please consider subscribing to NJ.com. There's a link in our episode notes. New Jersey needs high-quality journalism, and our journalists need you. Tune in again next week for the latest episode of Jersey's Best Podcast. And remember, Jersey forever.